You know, I just couldn't imagine this happening. No way, no how. What I did imagine was we'd be together always, get old together and end our days peacefully, effortlessly, without trauma, to us or to anyone. Naive, huh? Unrealistic? Oh, foolish. Oh, there's no way I can put into words how hard this is. I never saw myself as someone who had to make decisions for someone that I love, to decide whether they should go on living or not. Who does? And truth be told, that was one of our big stumbling blocks. Well, it was for me. I just couldn't face up to the responsibility, and I didn't.
So, who would you want to make medical decisions for you if you couldn't? Have you thought about it?
No, I don't guess I've thought about it as much as I should. Nah, it's not true. I don't think about it at all. I know. I should. Let me ask you this. As active as you are and as healthy as you are, do you want to think about it? Truth now. No, you don't. No one does.
That's not true. I do think about it from time to time. Enough to tell you this. I don't believe I'd want heroic measures. I can't imagine being kept alive on a ventilator and being fed through a tube. And you know what bothers me even more than that? The thought of being a burden to this family really gets me. I'd hate that. I can't see it as being fair to anyone.
What burden? Me, the kids, the grandkids? You know we'd be there for you if you couldn't take care of yourself. And I tell you what, I'd never pull the plug. But it's not happening, Ellie. It's just not happening. To me, and for sure not to you.
You're so sure, but what if it does? Then someone has to make decisions.
Well, I suppose so.
So, David, as much as you'd rather not, can you answer the question?
Which one?
The one about who you'd want to make medical decisions for you if you couldn't.
Well, you would. I'd want you to.
And if I wasn't there? If I couldn't or was incapable of?
And where would you be?
Oh, come on.
Well, one of the kids then.
Which one?
I don't know what they think. Oh, except for Lisa. I mean, her beliefs aren't exactly like ours, and she and James really hold on to those strongly. If it was up to her, I'd be on life support until the natural end, And then there's Louise out in L.A. Well, if there's no hope, she'd pull the plug. She couldn't stand to see me like that. I could see some tension between Louise and Lisa.
Which is the last thing either of us would want. And what about Nathan?
Our baby. Well, he's a peacemaker by nature. I can see him trying to settle any disagreement between those girls.
And he'd do it too. He's always been the diplomat.
Well, moot point, Ellie. It's not going to happen.
I'm glad you're so sure, but I'm not so positive. Who knows about these things? Whoever knows? I have no idea where hospitals and doctors even follow a living will. No idea at all.
Neither do I. Neither do I. A difficult choice. Choosing who will make your medical treatment decisions for you when you're incapable of making them yourselves. And before making this vital choice, what standards should you use before selecting such a person? Now that's what this little play was about. So what questions might it suggest to you? How do you choose who will make medical decisions for you? What do you tell the person you choose? And how does an advance directive apply in an emergency?
How you choose the individual who make decisions for you is very important. Some of the considerations that you have in choosing this individual are identifying someone who will carry out your wishes despite what their personal beliefs may be. Identifying an individual who will come to your aid when the time comes that those decisions need to be made. Also, identifying individuals who can carry out your wishes. Sometimes a spouse or significant other may not be the person who is willing to carry out those wishes. And if that's the case, it's important to identify that and have good conversations about what you want and who will be able to honor your decisions.
David, one other consideration, particularly if you have multiple kids, is really only to choose one agent. While it might seem to be a good idea to choose multiple agents, it can be a recipe for disaster, and it's better to choose just one, and then alternates if you need. So what do you tell this person? Well, the key is to use your own words. What's important is making sure that your wishes, what's generally important to you, your religious beliefs, your basic values are conveyed to your decision maker. These don't have to be legal terms, they don't have to be medical terms. And I encourage people when they are having this conversation to do it in the manner that's most comfortable to them. Write them a story, a song, a poem, draw a picture if you have to. Whatever you need to do to convey in your own words how it is that you want to be taken care of if you can't speak for yourself.
In a sudden emergency situation, your advance directive does not yet apply. There are some states where there is an exception to this, and those are the states that have passed laws that allow you to designate yourself as a do not resuscitate order. Those states are very specific, and you need to be aware of that prior to any situation.
Those are all great considerations, but I do want to add one other thing, and that is to be sure that you actually talk to the person that you're naming as your agent. When I deal with ethics committees, I can't tell you how many times we've dealt with a situation where a patient ends up in the hospital and we search out their agent, and this is the first time that they even learn that they've been named.